If you're thinking about buying or selling in the Portland metro area, then this market update is for you. And today, we're gonna go over the October numbers. Yes, they're out, and it's very interesting, so let's go. Hey everybody, my name is Cullen. I'm a local real estate agent right here in Portland, Oregon. Now, today we're gonna go over October's numbers. Now, whether you're moving next week or next year, go ahead and reach out. My information's right down there in the description area. Give me a call, shoot me a text, or schedule a calendar link right down there. As you can see, right down here, we got 2.9 months of inventory on the market. So what that means, if there's no more homes for sale, then it would take 2.9 months to go through all the inventory. It's kind of one of the measurements they use. So you can see September to October, it's staying the same. And if we look over here, what happened last year, the inventory bumped up a little bit, but this year, it's staying about the same. And I would expect maybe November, possibly it could bump up, but I think what kind of combats that, and we'll get into the numbers here in a second, is that there's less inventory on the market. So, days on the market are going up. So it kind of equilibriums that from the previous month because we have less listings going on. And so there's just less new listings to kind of replace it. So that number might be a little deceiving because things are staying on the market a little bit longer. Now, if you look over here at new listings, you can see that they decreased almost 19% from the previous month, from September. So we have 19% less new listings hitting the market in October. Pending sales decreased 11.5%, and that usually coincides with, hey, there's less listings, there are gonna be less pending sales. Now let's go over here to our market trends, and you can see October versus September. So we're just comparing from October to September from the previous month. New listings are down 19%, pending sales down 10%, closed sales down about 3%. The average sales price has gone down about 0.5%, and the median sales price has gone down 2.3%. This is the number I really wanna highlight on this video today on the market update, which is the median sales price down 2.3% from the previous month. And if you go over here, total market time is +4 days. So that's what I'm really seeing here. Locally, things are staying on the market a little bit longer and sales prices are being decreased a little bit more. And you can see that right here in median sales price decreasing from the previous month. That means there's more homes that are sitting longer and we're getting more price decreases across the market. And what's also interesting, if you compare last year to this year, the same month of October, you can see our prices are down about 2.2%. So you can see we maintained pretty evenly, and then this last month, sales prices have dropped compared to that last month, and that's about on par with compared to the previous year. With a lot of markets, you're gonna get that cyclical market cycle a little bit detached from what the economy is doing. You also have that local market cycle. And so right now we're into that fall, coming into that winter cycle here in the Portland metro area. And how that generally works is starting in January, the market starts to heat up and goes up and up and up and up until it peaks in about June, in March through June. That's kind of the hottest market cycle here. We're gonna get the most demand, the most buyers, and usually the most homes going on the market for sale. So people with families are usually wanting to move during the summertime if possible. Plus the weather is just a lot nicer out. And so people kind of hunker down a little bit more in the winter, typically aren't gonna be moving unless they need to move. So that market cycle starts to get hotter and hotter and hotter until June. And then right around July, it starts to come down a little bit. And then once we hit September, the numbers usually take another little dip there. And then basically from that September through to December, the market kind of slows down, slows down, slows down. Now I actually usually end up getting pretty busy in December. So you do get a lot of intentional buyers that are interested in looking and in buying. But then once you hit January, it really starts to tick up in the amount of buyers. People have kind of gotten through the holidays and then it starts to tick up as far as the buyer demand in the market. So you're gonna see your lowest prices, and it's usual to have a market dip, price decreases a little bit. Like right now we're 2.3% decreased from the previous month, which is quite a bit. So that's also indicative of the higher interest rates also having an effect on that. But you're also normally gonna see that little bit of decrease. And because of that, I think now is a really good time to buy. I know interest rates are really high, so it really depends on the individual situation. If you can buy all cash, or if you can put a huge down payment down, or if you just need to move, buying now through December, because these market conditions are really good for the buyers, you can negotiate price, you can negotiate repairs. You have a lot of power as the buyer. And then we also have some things that you can utilize as well. We could ask for a seller's credit to buy down your interest rate. You could ask for a 2-1 buy down by the seller, which is where they buy down 2 points off the first year of your loan. And then the second year, it goes down 1 point. And then the third year, it goes back to the current interest rate that you locked in at the time. So there's a lot of options there depending on your situation. And then of course, interest rates are high, and a lot of the talk that I've been hearing is that they've probably maxed. Maybe, you never know, maybe they could go up a little bit more, but they're gonna be somewhere around that, 7 to 8.5 interest rate, going into this next year. And then by the end of next year, it is election cycle, so it does usually seem to have some kind of effect on lowering interest rates. Never know really what's gonna happen there. But I wouldn't expect, from everything that I've been hearing, for interest rates to get too much lower in the next couple of years. So I think we're gonna be living with these higher interest rates for the next couple of years. So if you're looking to buy, I would just go ahead and factor that in to your budget and what to expect, that these interest rates are gonna be roughly where they are right now, which is around 7.5%. Also, if we look down here at the median sales price, we mentioned, it went down 2.2% from the previous month. Well, that's 2.8% over the previous year. So we're at 530,000 versus 545,000. I like to go up the median sales price because, again, that takes into consideration how many $500,000 properties, $600,000 properties there are versus those big, $5, $10 million properties. It puts less weight if you use the median home price versus the average. The average gives a little bit more weight to those very expensive houses. And here's our heat map. So you can see where the bulk of the transactions are going here. It really is that, $400,000 to $600,000 price range. And typically, if you want a nice house that's not a fixer-upper in a desirable neighborhood, then you're pretty much going to be looking, in that $600,000 range, that like $550,000 to $600,000 range. And then you can see as it goes up, this year there's just a lot less transactions. You can see it was hotter and more periods here with a lot higher numbers. Last year we just don't have as many homes hitting the market this year as we did last year. Okay, let's go over the new listings, the amount of new listings, just so you can see that here on this graph. Now in October, you can see we had 2,200 new listings, September 2,700, and the year to date, 26,000 homes have hit the market. And if we go over here, here's our median sales price. In October was $525, September was $537. So you can see that's a big difference there, and there's our market time has clicked up about 4 days to 45 average market time. Now, caveat to that is every neighborhood's a little different. Now, some of the hotter neighborhoods, their market time is gonna be a lot less, their price is gonna be higher. Depending on where you're looking, say if you're looking in Lake Oswego, the starter homes hot prices is really $600,000 to $850,000. Those homes typically are going really fast if they're move-in ready, if they look great, and you're still gonna get multiple offers. But really, once you start going over usually that $1 million mark here in Lake Oswego, then usually have a little bit more choice. Homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer. Again, depends exactly what neighborhood it's in and how desirable it is. If that house is move-in ready in this market and it's priced well, it's usually gonna get an offer on that first weekend or that first week. So if you're listing, it's very, very important to have it looking really nice, stage it well, do video, do photos, really dial it up. So you can try to be a part of that percentage of homes that sells in that first week. And here's a good graph to look at. Here we are in the orange, and you can see we're following pretty similar trends once we hit like June in the amount of residential listings. The previous couple of years, they were a lot lower, and then they shoot up. You can really see it shoot up in June, July, and then they usually kind of level off, and then here we go, September, and they usually kind of dip back down. And now, as you can see, our total market time, it's a little bit higher than it was last year. even though we have less listings. So that really does mean a lot of buyers have pulled back out of the market, and we can really see that effect of those 8% interest rates. You can see that reflected here, the amount of new listings. You can see how many new listings we really have compared to the last couple of years. It's pretty significant, but it might not look like that because there's a lot less demand, a lot less buyers because of those high interest rates. And so homes are sitting on the market longer, giving it the appearance that there's a lot of homes on the market maybe compared to the last couple of years. But in the last couple of years, they were just going a lot faster. So they were sitting on the market a lot less time. And I would expect these pending sales numbers to keep going down as they have the last couple of years, to keep tightening up. And again, that's why, one of the reasons why I say in that September, October, November, December, that's one of the best times to buy a home if you're in the position to be able to do that, because all the parameters are really in your favor because there's so much less demand. And here's our area report. Let's start here with Northeast Portland. You can see pending sales are down 21%, average sales price $588, the median $525. Down here for Southeast, average sales price is $462. There's a lot more affordable inventory in Southeast Portland. If you have that budget that you want to be under that $500,000 mark, that's where you're going to find a lot of inventory. And then if we go, and then Gresham, Troutdale, $475, Lake Oswego, $815,000, and the average is $945. Now keep in mind, Lake Oswego Westland is grouped together. The average price in Lake Oswego is still around that $1 million mark, and Westland is about 20% less expensive than it is in Lake Oswego, just as a general rule. So your price there is, average is usually going to be more in that $800,000 mark, but they average those two together. Then if we go over here to Southwest Portland, the average price is $625,000. Let's go over to Beaverton, where I get a lot of clients looking at the Beaverton area or Tigard, and that is $530,000, and that Tigard Wilsonville together $610,000. And you can see here with the market time as well, that's this category right here. You can see Southwest Portland has a very high market time at 63 days, and Lake Oswego is right there at that 47 with Westland, and Northeast Portland 33 days, a little bit faster market. Southeast Portland right there as well. And you can see the different sections of Portland and Camas. This is the median sales price in each of those areas. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this month's market update. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. My information's right down there in the description area. I love helping people relocate all over Portland. So if you guys have any questions or you're making a move, go ahead and reach out and let's get that conversation started. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.